Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Samuel Sellona back in the kitchen making an incredible meal. We're making salmon roulade with a watercress puree and a warm fingerling potato dill salad. You won't want to miss this. We are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a seat, get comfortable. We've got another great menu for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins. In our kitchen today is a familiar face. We have Chef Samuel Sellona from Torrance Memorial Hospital.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, sir. You know, I look forward to your visits because, I mean, one, you always deliver tasty, delicious food, but then it's also a pleasure to watch your work. I mean, the man's a consummate pro.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, you have a distinguished background, CIA graduate. That's the Culinary Institute, and then years as in fine dining and hotels, and then 25 years in the healthcare industry, and most recently Torrance Memorial Hospital.
Yes.
Well, they're lucky to have you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Torrance Memorial. I mean, in general, that's kind of if you're a foodie and you're in the hospital, that's sort of a place to wind up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the industry has changed. It's more about hospitality now, and we're all looking at providing the best quality food and care for our patients. And hospitality is one of the things that we're improving on. Yeah,
I think that if there's any times in your life that you need hospitality, it's when you're in the hospital.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Excellent. Now, we've got a gigantic piece of salmon sitting in front of us here. And I know we're going to do a salmon roulade, which I'm very excited about because it's sort of a European technique to do a roulade, which means to roll.
Yes.
And you see it in French cooking. I'm German. I grew up with rouladen, which is, meat that's rolled like that. But today we're doing it with salmon.
Yes, we are.
But in order to do that, we first have to take the skin off.
Yes.
And you're going to show us how to do that.
Yes. So first of all, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeve.
Okay.
This is going to get
a little messy.
some work, yes.
Take it away,
so
Chef.
We'll roll it up. Roll it up.
And how big of a piece of salmon?
This is about 3 to 4 pound half.
And is this how it comes to you? Or does it come to you whole? And
we purchase fresh salmon for Torrance for our patients, and this is how it comes in.
It comes in half like that already. Okay.
Yeah.
But still got to remove that skin if you're doing a roulade.
So in the store, if you do, sometimes it comes with a skin. So
Right.
I'm going to show you a technique on how to get rid of it.
Okay.
You're going to need a dry towel. You're going to work your way in.
And you're starting from the small end.
Small end, yes. And then with a dry towel, you're going to use it to anchor. And I'm going to bring it over to the side.
See, if you started from the big end, you would never be able to get a clean cut.
No.
Because it's just too much surface space there. So he starts from the small end, and using that dry towel, because that skin is slippery. And
yes, it is.
You're never going to be able to hold on to it if he doesn't. And then just, how can you describe, because I know what you're doing, it's a sort of a game there between the skin and the angle of that knife. How would you describe that?
It's basically keeping your blade at an angle towards the board and then sliding the skin back and forth, and it comes off in the whole piece.
So it shows the importance of why you want a sharp knife. Because what he's doing is he's allowing the knife to do its job. Instead of moving the knife through the fish, he's allowing the knife to do its thing, and he's moving the skin, and that's how he just got that to look like that.
So the next stage now is I'm going to have to clean it up so that I get a nice piece of salmon that is equal on all sides. So I'll take off the belly.
Okay.
This can be turned into a soup or...
Oh, or how about like eating it raw?
Eating it raw,
That's
yes.
a prized piece right there, the belly. I mean, you can see the fat in that. That's gorgeous. I mean, you could sear that up and like just flash sear it on each side and you'd have something really nice. Or you could use that, if it's sashimi grade, you could use it for sashimi.
So we have all these nice pieces. Definitely you don't want to discard that. So this is the back end of the spine end. So I'm going to put it on my right side since I'm right-handed. And then what I'm going to do is tilt my blade towards the board and start opening the filet
Yeah.
I'm running my thumb underneath and then continuing with the same process.
So almost a butterfly technique.
Yes.
But look at that. I mean,
And a sharp knife does help.
yeah,
As you can tell, I'm just skimming right through the salmon without any effort at all.
and it's also, this is years of like sort of understanding the right amount of pressure to put behind that knife and the angle that you want. But look at that.
So we got it open. So this is the flesh side up, and we want to start with the skin side up. So we're gonna pick it up and flip it over.
Okay.
So we want our customers or our guests to see the nice part of it.
Right.
We don't want to have them to look at the skin part of it. So you're going to have to take a feel, and the thinnest part of the salmon is where you want to start building your stuffing.
Okay.
So I feel like this is a spot right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to roll this up a little bit.
Wait, so you are going to actually
Stuff it.
the whole thing right
Yes,
now in one shot.
In one shot, yes.
All right, this is a
Yeah.
treat. This is a treat.
Okay, so we'll start off with some spinach, which I sauteed off earlier. You want to start off with a cold stuffing. You don't want to be cooking
Warm,
it and
or else
putting it
it'll
in
start
warm.
to actually cook that fish.
Exactly, yeah. So
Okay.
I prepared this earlier in the morning, and I allowed it to cool.
And that looks like you just barely like wilted it.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a light saute with olive oil. So it's almost like a sushi if you think about it. So we're gonna spread it out.
Doing like a giant sushi roll.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And this
Okay.
is great, actually. This is I mean, you know, if you're entertaining a lot of people, I mean, how many people is this going to serve right here?
This would give you about 8 portions.
I was going to say about 8 to 10 portions.
Mhm.
All right, so there you go. Dinner party, 8 to 10 people.
Yep.
Going to knock it all out in one shot right here.
So I'm gonna season with some lemon pepper. It's very lightly. There's tons of flavor that's going to be coming off of the
Oh,
vegetables.
yeah.
So I have some roasted garlic, which I actually toasted on a saute pan with a touch of olive oil. So that goes on there as well. I love garlic, so I'm going to put a little bit extra.
Not a problem, especially since you roasted it. You know, it's not like this is raw garlic going in. And
It has a nice sweet caramelized flavor.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got that going. And then I got some peppers which I roasted over some open fire.
So just pepper on top of an open flame till it gets nice and black. Put it in a bag, let it steam for about 10 minutes.
Yep,
Remove the dark black skin, and that's what you got.
you got it. So the reason why I'm cutting it is because in the raw form I'm going to be cutting the roulade. So if I have it in a whole piece like this, it will drag and tear the meat up. So to prevent that, I'm giving
Got
the
you. Right.
peppers
And also why you want it roasted and soft. You don't want like hard uncooked peppers in there. Yeah.
So I'm just going to add a little bit more. It's nice to have color.
And a lot of flavor. Once again, sweetness.
So you have a bit of everything. You got the sweet, the savory, you got the spinach and everything.
Nutty, right.
Yes.
And here comes our
Okay.
cheesy and creamy.
And then to give it a nice Mediterranean touch, we have some feta.
Okay. You could probably use goat cheese in there as well, maybe?
Goat cheese as well, yeah. Whatever your preference is.
I think that, you know, though, actually, the more I think about it, I think the feta is nicer with the salmon. I think maybe goat cheese might be a little bit much. The feta is
Kind of
just
gamey, yeah. So
yeah, this is just a more of a salty, creamy thing, right?
So, and this is what we're looking for. So
That
what
looks
I'm gonna
awesome.
so what I'm gonna do now is just start rolling, keeping it tight, and then roll crumble off to the side, and that's okay.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
getting a little, but look at that.
Yeah. So this is what we're looking for.
You got one pepper hanging out of the back there. There you go.
There we go. So
Look
we're
at
gonna,
that, though. But all in all, pretty good.
yeah, this is what we're looking for, and I just give it a nice squeeze so that all the crevices get filled with the filling.
Yeah, you don't want it loose at this point, I would imagine. You want a nice tight roll so
Nice
that it
tight roll.
stays together.
Yeah. So traditionally, this would be going into the oven just like this. But of what I've learned from in the past, after baking it like this, as you cut into it, the flesh tends to flake off, and then you have a huge mess. So what we're gonna do, you can actually do that with maybe a beef or pork.
Sure, because it's not gonna, the meat's not gonna break. But this
is very delicate. Yeah. So I've done this in the past on this.
You're gonna make
show.
individual portions before it goes into the oven.
Exactly. So what I'm gonna do is I have some extra virgin olive oil.
And that's just aluminum foil that you've cut into long strips and folded in half.
Just to give it some strength for the roll.
I think I know where you're going. You're gonna use that to sort of keep it in place.
So we're looking at 4 to 5 ounce. So this is about a little over 4 ounces.
I'll bet you if we put that on a scale, he's right. That's the benefit of having done this 1,000 times, right?
So just to show you what I'm looking for. So what we're gonna do is squeeze until you get that nice roulade flavor, and then you're gonna twist at the end. So let me do one more for you.
And it gives you a little handle.
Yep, it does. Okay, so one more cut.
I love it. It's chef tricks.
Yeah.
Right here, big time.
Okay, so here we go again.
Yeah,
twist.
If you haven't hit the DVR record button yet, I'd suggest you do so because I'm stealing this.
Okay. So at this stage, we're gonna do a plate up. We'll do it right here.
And all things considered, for the what we have here, relatively quickly, in terms of getting it done.
Very simple.
With
years of experience, yes.
You're in the zone.
Yeah.
All right. So now this goes into the oven just like this.
It goes in
the refrigerator first, or does it help if it?
It does help to sit for a while.
Sit for a little bit.
So that the fillings and everything gets.
Within. Okay. So this could be potential make ahead in the morning.
It could be done a day before.
Day before.
Yeah,
there you go. Beautiful.
Before.
And then into the oven. What's the
350 for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. So what do you
temperature that you're looking for is 145.
145 on
Internal.
the meat.
Yes.
On the meat. Okay. And as a true hotel chef and expert in fine dining is always going to hit that proper temp. Now we have one that's pre-made in there that we will be sampling later. But we've got some other components to this dish to make. We're going to take a break, get cleaned up here. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month. That's a lot. Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I am in the kitchen with Chef Samuel Sellona from Torrance Memorial Hospital. And if you're just joining us, the last segment was super impressive. I mean, you skinned a piece of salmon and then in the most beautiful way put together these incredible roulades. And I hope you were around to watch it. If not, maybe your DVR picked it up because it was really an impressive technique. But we were moving on to the next component of this dish. Actually, we've got 2 more components of this dish, correct?
Yes.
We've got the dill potato salad, and then we've got a watercress puree that you've already made, and we'll talk about that. But I see where this meal is going because the salmon, it needs a starch with it, and it's such a nice light preparation. Why do you like a heavy sort of? This is going to be like more of a potato salad, and then the dill works with both. I love it. Now, talk to me about these gorgeous potatoes that you've got here.
These potatoes are called Peruvian fingerling potatoes. And in South America, they have hundreds of different types of potatoes. And I chose this color or this potato because of its color. I just
Gorgeous.
love its purple. Here's a fresh one.
It's got a nice starchy quality to it too.
Yeah, I mean, look at the color to it.
Yeah,
it's
that
just
is
beautiful.
That is unbelievable. I mean, hard to believe that food comes from the ground. That color on the inside.
Inside, yes.
Incredible.
The texture, you have a kind of a waxy texture to it. So as far as a potato salad, this would be perfect.
Okay, so this is a little bit more on the waxy side than some of the domestic purple potatoes, which can be a little on the starchier
Yes,
side.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because for potato salad, you do want it waxier.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, great. Great.
Okay.
So now, these have been? Have you've pre-cooked these a little bit?
I pre-cooked this just to speed up the process.
No one wants to watch us boil potatoes, right? Get it. So,
Exactly.
So you had them whole, and how long did you cook them for?
I cooked them for 10 minutes, and then when I put it back here, I'll cook it for another additional 5 minutes.
Okay. So he did 10 minutes at home. If you wanted to cook them through and get them ready
15 to 20 minutes.
until they're sort of like knife tender.
Yes.
Okay. And then cool down, or no,
You leave it warm.
leave it warm. Slice it up, and then they're gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take it away.
Okay, so let's see if I can heat up this. There you go.
The man
So-
just skinned a salmon and did a roulade, and we're having a problem with the.
Okay, so here you go. So we're just gonna the water's steaming. I mean simmering.
Okay.
So we'll just stick in there, let it retherm.
So an additional few minutes on that there. Okay.
So in the meantime, while this pan is heating up, I'll just add a touch of
Well, let's talk about some of the ingredients first.
Okay.
We've got olive oil, onion,
olive oil, onion, white onions, garlic, and white wine vinegar.
white wine vinegar, and of
then
course
dill.
and
Yeah.
salt and pepper.
So while this pan is heating up, what I'll do is I'll just cut some of this fresh dill.
And you know, I gotta say, I love dill. I grew up with my parents had gardens, you know, all throughout my childhood, and this was always a fixture in the garden, and I love it. I think it's a really underused herb,
Yes, it is.
especially once you hit spring and summer. To me, I find it so refreshing and cooling, and it really, I think it makes lightens a dish up.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I chose dill, because it has a spring, summer type flavor, and it also gives a nice bite
Yeah.
to the potatoes.
And it's hard to
Refreshing.
overdo it on dill for me. For me at least. I love it.
Okay, so let's see. This pan is heating up. So what I'm going to do is add some olive oil, about a tablespoon. So get our pan nice and hot.
And this potato salad here is going to be served warm, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so almost in a German style of warm potato salad. And then with the vinegar. As Americans, we tend to think of potato salad as being very, first of all, like cubed, mayonnaise, mustard, either dill pickle or relish, things like that in it. Very creamy, very emulsified. You get to more of the European style of potato salad. You'll notice the potatoes are sliced. How Chef has them over there, and sometimes they're served warm. Sometimes room temperature or cool. But the idea of it's more of a vinegar base.
Yes, vinegar base and low fat.
And low fat, right, right.
So here we go. We'll start off
Except
with
if
some
you use
onions.
bacon grease like me, then it's not so much anymore.
Okay. I'm going to reach in here for a spoon.
And what's nice is that those potatoes, when they're warm and they come from that water, I see where you're going, that everything's going to be in here and it's all going to just absorb into those potatoes.
Yes, it will.
So that flavor's going to permeate.
It'll act like a sponge. So what we're doing is sautéing the onions until it becomes slightly translucent. That's when the aroma and the flavor start to stand out a little bit.
Yeah, you got to bring that out. Yeah.
As you can tell, the smell.
Yeah, it smells incredible.
So here we go. Just let it cook for a few more minutes.
Okay. All right. And you know, once again, I mean, don't feel that like you have to make this dish or this side dish with the salmon. That's going to be good with
By
anything.
itself. Yes, yes. But
With anything. And don't feel that you have to use the purple potato if you can't find an heirloom fingerling purple potato from South America. You know, use some waxy red potatoes.
yes,
The
red will do good
white,
as well.
even the white ones would be fine.
Yeah, baby whites will do
Just
well.
nothing like russet. Like that's not going
Anything
to
starchy will
fall apart.
The opposite of what you want with this salad.
Right, right.
So, as you can tell, the onions are starting to caramelize. So I'm going to lower the heat a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see, this side. So, and then it will splash a little bit. So I'm going to, so when you get to this point.
Now the potatoes. Okay. That's good. That little bit of water content can also help pick up some of the stuff from the bottom.
Yes, it will.
And the starch probably give it a little bit of body.
And the colors are just fantastic. How it's standing out. Okay.
Excellent. Now this also gets a watercress puree, correct?
Yes, that's part of the dish.
Is this just for plating and for overall looks and
Looks,
flavor?
and also it also cuts into the fishiness of the salmon.
Sure, that's true because you've got sort of there's a bitter bite to that.
Bitter, lemony flavor to it.
To the watercress, and it's going to help with the fattiness of the salmon. Okay.
So we got to this point right here. So what we're going to do is just sprinkle our dill. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's just the colors just pop. So I'm going to do a little chef lip here.
Okay.
Just
The roll.
Yeah. So here we go. And then give it a little bit more toss.
And then we get our vinegar. Is that how that gets finished off?
Yep. Just a little vinegar. And then let it sit for a bit. And then
Let it cook for a little bit, and then, because like we said, those potatoes are going to just pull that right in.
Yes.
And this is something that is going to, we're going to serve it warm today.
Yes, just
but,
like this.
But this is going to be perfectly good at room temperature, even on the cooler side. So something that you could absolutely bring as a side dish to a barbecue, or like we said, use it with anything else. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And so that's basically it.
That's it. Simple.
That's it. Simple,
Yeah.
simple. See, there you go. So potato salad doesn't have to be and you kept the skins on. You didn't have to peel the skins or, so very little work.
Nutritional value that
All
goes
right.
in with the skin.
So talk to me a little about this watercress puree.
The watercress puree is about 4 cups of watercress, lemon juice, and some olive oil. We emulsify the olive oil with the lemon juice and then add the watercress as to puree.
And this is all in a food processor.
Food processor,
Okay, because we did this ahead, and we're going to see it on the other side here. But I just want Chef to explain what he did. So you're saying in a food processor, olive oil, lemon juice first.
Yes, to emulsify.
Get that going, and then start dropping in your watercress.
Yes, little by little, so that it picks up, the blender will pick up the watercress leaves without jamming. And then
Right,
season.
because if you did it, we've all been there, right? Where we've had a blender or a food processor where you put the spinach or the basil or whatever in first, and then you hit go, and the blade
it spins.
and you're watching it do absolutely
A
nothing.
free spin there.
Right, which is not very good for your machinery either.
No.
So okay, so and then you get it to. Are we straining that at all, or is it?
No, we just gets pureed.
It breaks down enough to where it's okay like that, and then we season it with a little salt.
Salt and pepper, and that's it.
And then that's it. And then that's another make ahead.
That could be done a day before as well.
Okay, and if watercress, because I know it's one of those things that's a little bit polarizing. Some people don't like it. We could go arugula maybe.
Arugula can do as well, or you can do spinach as well. But then we have spinach in the salmon.
And I feel like spinach would be a little bland.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me at least, like spinach needs to be put up with some of those other flavors that you had inside the salmon. And I think when it stands alone as a puree, it can be a little bit bland unless you're adding other flavors to it. I like the arugula. I like the arugula idea, but
as far as other ones that you could use, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah,
but those are the two that stands out for me.
okay.
Those two.
Right, and another make ahead. So literally, a dinner. Like, I mean, I think this is the perfect entertaining dinner.
Yes, it is. It's again another Sunday brunch type of meal. Very light and somewhat.
And something that you can prep ahead of time, and then when your guests get there, pop the salmon in the oven, finish off your potato salad. You've got the sauce ready to make. You're golden at that point. All right. Speaking of golden, I'm going to be eating real soon, but we got to take a break, get cleaned up. We're going to plate this up beautifully. You'll see. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. Do you see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month. That's a lot. Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Welcome back. I am in the kitchen with Chef Samuel Sellona from Torrance Memorial, and my favorite time of the show has arrived, and that is time to eat.
Yes.
No words, right? I mean, just a beautifully composed, tight dish, and I don't know what else to say, you know, and I mean, colorful too.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is represented here, and I'm just gonna dig in. How about that?
Sure.
I'm gonna start with some of the salmon, and I do want to get a little bit of that pure. Oh, you know what? First, let's hit this with a little bit of lemon. That's there for a reason. That's there for a reason. Let's do that. All right. So now let's get in here. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I want some of that roasted garlic and that spinach. And I'm going to pick up some of that. Wow. That is great. I love it with the watercress.
Yes.
You know what? It sort of gives you almost like, you know, there's the English tea sandwiches with the salmon and the watercress.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah, that's the concept I was trying to get.
I love that. I mean, you know, it does have, it's lemony, slightly on the bitter side, but I mean still fresh and bright and bright. And I think that's why it works with the fattiness of the salmon so well. So well. All right, onto this potato salad here. Okay. Right. Once again, super clean. Super clean. That dill brings such a brightness and a freshness to it. And yeah, that's great. That's just a great combination right there.
Thank you very much.
Chef, well done. Another job well done.
Yeah.
This is excellent. I'm going to continue eating it. Not in front of you all, because that would just be rude. So I just want to thank you for being here, and please tell me we'll do this again.
Sure, anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you we truly are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. On behalf of myself, Chef Sellona, everyone here at Community Cooking, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Back to this. Cue music, cue credits.
Yeah.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCitiCABLE and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.